Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Rebecca, and today I'm going to start walking my Camino Portugues. I'm starting from the Porto city center. But first, let's talk a little bit about the different Camino Portugues routes. The main routes are the central, which starts much further south in Lisbon, and the littoral and coastal routes, which both start in Porto. The littoral and coastal routes overlap quite a bit. There's also a spiritual variant much further north in Spain that'll add an extra day to your trip, and I'll show you, but it's well worth it. I did a lot of research on these routes and looked at videos like these and Facebook posts and blogs and decided I wanted a little bit of all of the paths. So I actually started on the coastal route out of the city. And then when I got to the Spanish border, I cut inward in a canoe, not a walk, a canoe. And then I took the spiritual route detour and then I headed to Santiago. So the map you're seeing here is a screenshot from the Wise Pilgrim app. I think it's well worth a couple dollars to buy it to always have the maps and other resources like ATM locations, grocery store locations, hostel phone numbers, and everything right at your fingertips. Others haul paper maps and books, and others just follow these signs. All of these signs, they're everywhere. Arrows and scallops are everywhere. I think it would be really hard to get lost. Honestly, you'd have to try to get lost. Okay, on to the walking. So today I'm only going to walk about 13 kilometers from hotel to hotel into the city of Matosinhos, which is a suburb of Porto. I considered it a shakedown walk just to make sure I have everything right and I haven't forgotten anything. There's actually a really big sporting goods store, they're popular all over Europe, called Decathlon in Matosinhos, should you realize you need something other than what you actually packed, and it'll be your last chance to hit a big store like this for a while. A lot of people said they didn't want to walk out of the city, so they take the metro to Matosinhos and start there, but I'm glad I decided to walk. It's really pretty. Today's route is easy. You just keep the water to your left and keep walking until you get there. If you remember, I picked up my pilgrim credential yesterday, and then I spent the night sleeping in a wooden box. I mean, it was inside a hotel, but it was a box nonetheless. And I didn't set an alarm because I'm typically up pretty early after I travel and change time zones, but after a long travel day yesterday and the sensory deprivation of a dark box, I slept past 9 a.m., so it's a good thing I'm not walking too far today. I pack up and I grab a quick breakfast from the hotel on the way out. The breakfast actually looked really good. I wish I would have gotten up earlier. They were starting to pack up when I got there. And then on the way down the stairs, I get a peep outside and it's pretty gloomy. Turns out it's actually drizzling, so I take the time to put the rain cover on my backpack. If your backpack doesn't come with one, you can buy a cover separately, and you probably should. You're going to need it at some point. It's not bad enough for me to put a poncho on, and believe me, it's not like I'm so sweet I'll melt. Porto is built up on a hill overlooking the Douro River. So I could have walked down some very steep, wet, slippery stairs, or I could take the funicular do Guinda's down the hill. It's like a little one-car tram, and it only costs a couple euros. It opens at 8 a.m. every morning, and at the bottom is the famous Ponte de Dom Luís I. You'll see this bridge in every picture of Porto. You can walk across the top and the bottom of the bridge to the other side. So I get to the bottom and I'm off. It's a dreary Saturday morning and the city is just starting to wake up as I'm walking. Tourists are coming out, they're coming down for coffee and breakfast along the water. And so I'm walking and I come to this pedestrian bridge and that is a big nope. I hate heights and I'm not walking across a very narrow bridge with grates that are open to the water high up and it's slippery because it's raining. So I take my chances and I froggered across the road and I walk on the trolley tracks instead. I know the Frogger reference probably gave away my age, but that's okay. The trolleys don't move very fast, so it'd be really easy to step out of the way if I needed to. Then I pass under a big bridge where you can apparently do a bridge climb, which is also a nope because I've got lots of places to go and I like my feet firmly planted on the ground. And then it happens. I find my first pilgrims as I'm walking out of town. It's an older woman and a younger man walking together, and we wish each other a cheery Bom Camino. You'll say Bom Camino or Buen Camino countless times along your journey, and it's really nice just to recognize other pilgrims along the way. It's not too much further before I find some more pilgrims, all from various European countries. Some I could chat with in English or my elementary Spanish, and some I just had to smile and wave at because we didn't have a language in common. I'm walking about 4 kilometers an hour or 2.4 miles an hour. It's really, really not fast at all. But I'm looking around and taking lots of pictures and I'm chatting to people. It's not a sprint and I could honestly do this all day. So a little further ahead, the Douro River meets the Atlantic Ocean. And there's a lighthouse that I go explore. So I'm going to let you all just walk along with me for a bit and listen to the music and the waves, and I will rejoin you when I get to Matosinhos. As I reach the outskirts of Matosinhos, I look for the visitor center to get my first stamp of my pilgrim passport. As of late 2023, the rules are that you need 1 stamp per day in your passport until you get to the last 100 kilometers outside of Santiago, and then you need 2 per day. This is so that you can receive your Compostela or certificate of completion at the end. I'll try to tell you where I got stamps, but generally they're available at your lodging, cafes, and churches along the way. Next, I wandered through town in search of an octopus restaurant I read about. I pass a lot of seafood restaurants along the way, and they have sidewalk grills and cafe tables outside, and it all smells delicious. I get to the restaurant, Ojinos de Polvo, which has a really great fixed price meal for €15, including an appetizer, main, dessert, wine, not a glass, an entire bottle, and coffee. I'll do a shorter video of the restaurants I tried in town, so keep a lookout for that. Then I head for my hotel. I chose not to stay in hostels or dorms. I booked private rooms in small hotels, pensiones, or even in people's houses. And this was just my personal choice, and I don't feel like I missed out on the spirit of the walk, but I did get really good sleep. I'm at the My Stay Matosinhos, and it was really clean and inviting inside. I am in dire need of a shower and a nap, but first I have to do my sink laundry so it can be dry when I leave in the morning. This is going to be an everyday occurrence. Thank you for keeping me company on my first walking day. If you enjoyed this, please click the like button or even better the subscribe button. Tomorrow I'm headed for Villa de Conde. I'll see you in the morning.